Hello and welcome to Inside the Americas. I'm Delano D'Souza. Coming up on the show this week, U.S. media outlets release an audio recording of Donald Trump discussing secret documents he held on to after leaving office. Officials in Honduras crack down on prisons, this in an attempt to improve security out on the streets. And prom season gets underway in the United States. We take you to one high school in the U.S. capital where no expense was spared. But first, U.S. news outlets have released an audio recording that appears to demonstrate that former President Donald Trump knowingly held on to highly classified documents. CNN and the New York Times both reporting on the recording of a July 2021 meeting after Trump left office at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Now in it, Trump appears to refer to a highly confidential document about Iran that he is holding in his hand. Brian Quinn reports.
It's likely to be key evidence in the criminal case against Donald Trump. First obtained by CNN, a newly released audio recording dating back to 2021 appears to reveal the former U.S. president showing off a highly classified document to visitors at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey.
This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out a yeah.
See, as president, I could have declassified
Yeah.
it. Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I do.
Trump is under federal indictment for illegally keeping 31 classified national security documents and conspiring with an aide to obstruct government efforts to retrieve them. Among them, the document referred to in the recording, believed to be a plan for a preemptive U.S. attack on Iran, prepared by America's top military official. The newly released audio appears to contradict what the former president told Fox News in an interview last week, that all documents in his possession upon leaving office had been declassified by him, and that he had been referring to newspaper and magazine clippings at Bedminster. The U.S. Justice Department has requested Trump's trial in the case be postponed from August to December.
To our number of the week next, and it's 160 megatons. That's the amount of carbon emitted into the atmosphere since wildfires broke out in Canada. Hundreds of blazes are burning in numerous parts of the country, and it's resulted in plumes of smoke crossing the Atlantic here to Europe. Now, inflation in Canada may be easing, but the price of food remains stubbornly high. It's pushed some residents to resort to dumpster diving to put food on the table. James Mulholland reports.
Rice, pumpkin soup, pizza sauce in a can. What better way to get people to a meetup than the offer of free food? But there's a catch. It's all straight out of the bin. Nonetheless, the meetup group Dumpster Diving in Metro Vancouver has over 2,000 followers. The man behind it is a local service engineer who calls himself Metro. In a time of financial hardship, he was outraged to learn that businesses were throwing away perfectly good food.
It got to the point where thinking, this is ridiculous. I'm finding 22 loaves of bread. What can I do with 22 loaves of bread? And I ran into some people who were having a rough time financially, and if they're willing, why not share it around? Occasionally you open up and you realize this is not good and it's thrown away. But most of the stuff is either just by the best by date, and also, like I said, the cosmetic stuff.
Canada's National Statistics Agency says food prices rose nearly 9% in 2022, peaking in September with an 11.4% rise, the highest in 4 decades.
Does anyone want this? You got it?
Statistics Canada says pasta products have increased 18.5% compared to last year. Lettuce, oranges, cereal and tomatoes have also risen sharply. Bananas remain the most affordable for Canadians.
I'm finding it very challenging to afford groceries. I'm having to eat like a lot of beans and stuff. Meat is a treat, basically.
It's astonishing to go to the store and, 3 heads of lettuce for $7.50. If you have a family at home and you're trying to feed, try to give them some healthy options. It's just mind-boggling.
There's nothing illegal about dumpster diving in Canada. But health authorities have warned of the potential risks of contamination of discarded products and urged people instead to get in touch with food banks.
Officials in Honduras are cracking down on prisons in the country, this in a bid to improve security out on the streets. The president has called on the military to take control of prisons, Xiomara Castro trying to send a powerful message by defeating organized crime from within the prison system and outside. James Lucina reports.
Fe y Esperanza, faith and hope. It's the name of the new military operation as Honduras aims to reassert its authority over gangs that stir up deadly violence across the country.
Following the president's order, we've started transitioning prison control from the national police to the military police. If there are so many weapons inside, it must be because the inmates are organized enough to corrupt those who are in charge of preventing weapons from entering our prisons.
Machine guns, ammunition, magazines, grenades. The military discovered cells full of smuggled weapons at high-security prisons. The seizures come after gunmen killed 11 people at a pool hall last Saturday, while 46 female inmates were killed in a gang-related riot just a few days before. 20,000 inmates live in 26 prisons across Honduras, which, according to the United Nations, are 34% over capacity. And as shirtless, tattooed convicts are lined up with their arms behind their backs, the scenes are reminiscent of those in neighbouring El Salvador.
The prisons have to be restructured. We need new jails. They also need to train completely new staff and a new army because the police and the army are complicit in this violence.
If the policies that Nayib Bukele adopted in El Salvador were adopted here, then we would live more peacefully. But we need someone who's honest and has the courage.
And this is precisely the question that comes to mind. After previously promising to demilitarize security, is its president Xiomara Castro simply putting on a show of force? Or does this mark the beginning of a new era, emulating the harsh tactics used by Nayib Bukele in El Salvador, who announced a war on gangs? His strategy has led to allegations of human rights abuses, but they've proved popular with residents. Xiomara Castro has now given the military 1 year to train new prison guards. Meanwhile, curfews, raids and checkpoints have all been part of her latest moves to crack down on gang violence in Honduras.
It's the end of the school year in the United States, which means prom season is officially here. For high schoolers about to enter university, it's an occasion to let their hair down after final exams and dance the night away. And as you will see in this next report, no expense has been spared.
The red carpet is rolled out and guests arrive in tuxedos and ball gowns. This is no Met Gala or a Hollywood premiere, but a typical American prom. For 17 and 18-year-olds, this is a night to remember, celebrating the end of high school with close friends and classmates.
So you guys are going to get 3 different photos. So you can change up each time, however you like. There we go. Yeah, lovely.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's 12 years of our life that is now ended, so it's a way to celebrate it.
It's a big school thing. Everyone's here, the entire grade.
The school pulls out all the stops celebrating its students as they see fit, complete with a casino, live DJ, candy bar, and party gifts. The prom committee financing the event charges $35 a ticket, but the memories are priceless.
This prom costs about $9,000. I think they would be happy with even something more simple, but it's us that put the pressure on ourselves to make it as nice as we can.
Prom comes from the word promenade, which means to dress up and walk around in a showy way. In the weeks leading up to the event, students and their parents are on the hunt for the right attire to do just that. You like this one? Single mother Nikki White accompanies her daughter in picking out the perfect dress. Their budget, $300, but willing to go higher.
It's all about her. Whatever she wants, she gets.
Including hair, makeup, and jewelry, she will spend over $1,000 for her daughter, and more or less the same for her son. In order to afford this price tag for both children, Nikki had to pick up a second job.
Just feel good to be able to do this for them. I'm loving every minute of it, and I would work 3 jobs to ensure they got to go.
For formal wear boutiques, prom season is a crucial time for business.
We have 70% of the year revenue, so we make that within the 2 months of prom season. That's what I guess helps with the business too, because they really don't have a price in mind. They just want to make sure they get that look.
Amin Musharrab's limousine service is also flourishing during this season. His limo will be fully booked, transporting students to and from the venue.
It's a good money-making business as well. If we get overbooked, we are in trouble, but we try not to get overbooked. We have other companies that help us out in case we get overbooked as well. But it is very profitable business.
Spending $600 a night for a limo, these parents are quite literally rolling out the red carpet for their teenagers.
Strike a pose, man. Yeah.
And they seem to be enjoying the experience just as much as their kids.
That's it for this edition of the show. From all of us on the team, thank you very much for watching.
France 24, your window on the world.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.